Shouts out to my people. Shouts out to my people. Sending love, positivity, and good vibes to my people, man. I hope you guys are doing good today. I'm doing great. Today's topic I wanted to talk about is stop watching corn and stop choking your chicken. First and foremost, I hope you guys seen the quote on the shorts. We got into the gym today. We did back and buys, nice workout. We just focus right now on staying consistent, getting our proteins back in us. Having the past couple weeks threw off my whole, gym process, me going to the gym, me eating my food, lives. So every time lives, it's best just to keep going, put our head down and try to get through it. But sometimes we don't have that time to, take to go to the gym. We don't have the energy. We don't have the focus. Not making excuses, but sometimes we just, things happen, and that's the biggest thing that I want to tell you guys and that I want to be the example of. Like, life isn't all about just going uphill and living this perfect life. And that's what I want to document. Things are always going to happen. You're going to have your lessons, you're going to have your blessings, and I want to document both. This just isn't a highlight reel. This is my life, and with me documenting my life, I want you guys to be able to take certain things away from what I'm documenting. Like, the topics of the day is advice that I've been through in life. Me being 33, I'm on the other side of the spectrum now. I can see what's good, what's not, what works, what doesn't. So I really want you guys to take my advice and to apply it. And I'm willing to take anybody else's advice. That's why I love when you guys comment. I love the interaction. So yeah, from topics of the day, I give you guys a quote in the morning to motivate you guys to start the day, to know that, I'm on this grind. I need you guys to be on the grind. As I say all the time, it's love, positivity, and good vibes. That's it. That's all you're going to get from me. I'm not on here to bash anybody. I'm not here for the clickbait, especially on this page. I have other pages where, we might do things to try to get attention and but more than anything, my whole perspective of what I'm trying to put out is love, positivity, good vibes. And I want to inspire people every single day to stack their days, stay productive, and to stay positive throughout the day, no matter how hard it is. And off of that, now we can get into the topics, and those are, cutting out your vices, being more disciplined. And today's topic that we're going to get into, obviously, we have been stacking the videos, so go watch the videos that we've been making. But today's topic for today's gym, shouts out to all my diamonds, is stop watching corn. Stop watching corn. Stop choking your chicken. It's all over, YouTube, TikTok, whatever you may watch. It maybe isn't into your algorithm yet, especially if you're a man, especially a young man. If you're striving to be successful, if you're striving to take your life to the next level, this is one of the things that I was doing that when I stopped, I seen a huge boost. I had a slogan myself with choking my chicken. It was, worst come to worst, I'm going to beat my meat and I'm going to go to sleep. A lot of the times at night when you get bored or you just, with these vices, you become accustomed to the comfort zone. And that was a big comfort zone of mine. I would go to, I would think that I had to choke my chicken in order to get good sleep. And boy, was I wrong. I was super wrong when I came to that, because even though, you get your endorphins, it feels good, you get whatever rest, and you feel like, you may think it's a good thing, at the time. But with all these vices, a lot of the vices that I have done and that I have analyzed, and that I'm at the stage now in my life where I'm putting these vices down and controlling these vices. And yeah, I realized with these vices, a lot of these vices you think are good until, you know, it's too late. With me, man, I look at myself and I be like, you know, if I never start watching corn and I never was choking my chicken, it's deep-rooted things that come with corn. Watching it, it's evil spirits, you know, it's a fantasy. First of all, shout out to Fresh and Fit, I think it's FitX, Fearless. He says, you know, you shouldn't be watching the other man pleasure himself. And when the other man is with a female, you know, you should strive to be that man. You shouldn't be watching and getting your rocks off of another man enjoying himself with a woman. If you're attracted to women, you should be wanting to be that dominant man. That is a big key factor into a whole nother, you know, a whole nother rabbit hole of things that we can get into that we're not going to get into today. But when it comes to being dominant, being masculine, being alpha, I won't even say alpha, but you know, you could put that term in there. But just being a man, like, you need your seed, and you need that seed to build up into you in order to build your confidence, to have you know, spiritual awakenings, and to manifest certain frequencies and certain powers. You know, it's almost like it is a superpower. That's how I would explain it. You know, when you're being disciplined, you're not choking your chicken, you're not too sex driven and trying to be with this girl, and that will set you apart from, I would say, 90%, if not 95% of men. So many men are chasing tail. As soon as men get success nowadays, that's what success becomes about. It becomes, you know, I'm gonna get this and I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna get money and I'm gonna get all these accesses in order to access women. You know, I'm gonna get the nice car. Excuse me, y'all. Ooh, I almost threw up I did throw up in my mouth. Sorry. But yeah, a lot of us men, if you're anything like me, I feel like a true man, I could sleep in a cardboard box and be happy. You know, materialistic things is not what makes me. And a lot of men are out here trying to chase, you know, keeping up with the Joneses, materialistic things, the flesh. A lot of men are chasing pleasure, is what I'm trying to say. And when you're chasing pleasure, though, that is the root cause of your destruction. When you're focused on, you know, being with this woman and that woman, it takes away from your morals, character, and values. It takes away from who you are and where you want to be in life. And it takes away from your vision, your plan. And now you're just stalling. You're stalling your time, you're stalling your efforts. And that's what I found myself faced with when I was choking my chicken, and I was, you know, I was less confident. I didn't know, you know, I wouldn't make eye contact with the woman, and just the certain things that women need that we don't even realize that is so important. Having confidence, looking women in the eyes, having an aura about you, being able to not lie and stand on exactly who you are, and having a purpose in life and doing something bigger than, you know, who you are and what you want. It's not about, you know, how you do it. It's why you doing what you doing and what you doing it for. As soon as I change my perspective, like, you know what, I'm gonna give my life to God, and I'm going to fight like hell to, you know, put on for my family. I'm gonna put on for my daughters. I'm gonna put on for anybody that's tied to me, you know, good or bad. You know, I'm gonna put on for them because they need me. Whether we get along with each other or not, I'm here for the people that, you know, I can affect in a positive way in order for my life to become better, but also their lives to be better. You know, I am an example. And an example, we as men have to be the example. No matter what people do to us, no matter who mistreated you, didn't believe in you, at the end of the day, all that shit don't matter. It doesn't. What matters is getting on your grind, figuring out, you know, how you can flip your life for the best. And all you need to do is laser and focus in on just that, because your perspective and what you are focused on is who you're going to become. So instead of focusing on that pain, on that hurt, on that frustration, you need to focus, you need to channel your focus into the things that you can control, the things that are coming, and the things that, you know, you want in life. If all you're focused on is the past, what you can't control, if you're focused on, you know, people that hurt you or circumstances that didn't fall into place, all you are doing is wasting time and being in your thoughts. And I feel like that, you know, I'm kind of getting off topic with all of what I'm talking about, but that goes exactly what's into corn. When I was little, when you're little and you have dreams of who you want to be and who you know, I wanted to be a baseball player. I wanted to be a football player. I wanted to be a pro athlete. You know, I wanted to be a high school basketball coach because my dad was a coach. There's certain things that I inspired to be that I lost myself. And the reason why I lost myself in the journey of, you know, just dreaming and believing is because, you know, you start to get into liking girls and sex and certain things. And what I'm trying to say to you guys is you guys don't want to make your main focus off of girls, sex, money, because it's all an illusion. It doesn't matter. That's all of what they're teaching. They're trying to, you know, make men women and women men, and they're still trying to have us fight each other on top of a race war. And they want us so distracted. They want us on social medias. They want us wasting time. They do not want us to come together to, you know, find resolutions and solutions. And they just want us out here like a chicken with his head cut off, spending money and doing all this. Nothing positive has really came from the last, you know, our fruits that we are producing. They're not fruitful. All this fake fruit, we can make it literal or we can make it, you know, subliminal, but both are true. The food that we're eating is fake, but the fruits that we bear from our society is fake as well. And we have to find ourselves in order to rewrite, you know, the story, how things are going to be. You know, you can't do this for you. You have to do this for your kids. And that's the thing. All of us are so selfish, and it's not to the point where everybody's a deadbeat or, you know, you don't go see your kids. There's levels to deadbeats. There's levels to, you know, being a present and positive. And, you know, it's not just, oh, I got food. I put food on the table. I make sure y'all was breathing. I kept you guys out of danger. No, it's so much more to parenthood, and so much more to life. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot. I feel like I have a lot to, you know, get out, to try to explain, to bring it back in order for you guys to see the bigger picture. And at the end of the day, men, what I'm breaking down to you guys is that when you are using your sexual energy and you're putting them in the wrong places, you're distracting yourself with this woman that isn't equally yoked with you, that, you know, you guys, you may have fun, you might have, you know, pleasures with each other, but you got to see that as what it is. And you can't sit here and play God. And God is doing, he's going to give you chances. He's going to give you opportunities in order to, you know, get yourself out of certain situations. But he's not going to sit here and, you know, play you in your life. He can't control you of your thoughts, or, you know, he can help you with that, but he's not going to control your choices. You have to take full responsibility for your choices and, you know, the lack of discipline there is. So in that case, you got to tighten up. And beating your meat and watching corn is a prime example of one of many examples of why men, you have to put it down, y'all. That is one of the best decisions that I made in my life. I was draining my energies. I was less confident. I couldn't go up to a woman and start a conversation. Now, I'm going out of my way to get denied, to get rejected. You want to reject me? Cool. Because you know what? It's just like door-to-door sales. Every single no that I get, I'm one yes away. So all these females, and 9 times out of 10, what you realize is the females that aren't meant for you, the females that, you know, got other things going on, they got other guys, they're not even, 9 times out of 10, they're not even happy. You know, if you are who you need to be as a man, people are going to attract to you. The right ones are going to attract to you. When you're not who you are and you chasing women and you're simping and you're doing this and that, that's when you find yourself with the woman that you don't need to be with, that you don't need to, you know, invest in. So when you beating your meat, going to sleep, choking your chicken, when you watching corn, and that's a whole nother topic. When you watching corn, you know, it starts off innocent, it starts off soft, it starts off, you know, and then you find yourself watching all types of crazy, insane stuff because you can't even, you know, it's a trickle effect. It's a rabbit hole. It's demonic. So give it up. And it may be hard, but give it up. And I promise you, your energy is going to rise. You're going to be more aware of women. And, you know, women, a lot of women, they say they want something, and you come to find out it's the complete opposite of what they really want. You get to see, you're not just listening to women and what they say. You're tapped into, you know, the frequency, and they're tapped into yours. So I ranted on this one. I gotta go pick up my daughter. That's probably why I was speaking so fast. And I feel like I really didn't get to break down the examples and the topic that, you know, we spoke on, but stop. It's going to help you so much. You know, you're desensitizing yourself. That's another thing that I've realized. When you hitting your shit every night and you going to sleep and sex don't even feel the same. Sex don't even feel the same. It's way more pleasurable when you're not touching yourself every night. Your senses come back. You know, I used to tell myself, you know, anytime I used to get, they say, head, I couldn't even feel it because I was touching myself so much. I'm not going to be too explicit, but like nowadays, if it's like, it's night and day. So, yeah. Let go of the corn. It's demonic. You know, it might be fun. It's something that, you know, we come accustomed to. It's, you know, I speak on all these vices, and this is a vice that I can really speak on, you know, with drinking and smoking. You know, those are vices that I'm still working on. But watching corn and beating my meat, choking my chicken is two things that I have completely let go of. And I can tell you, your life is going to go so far. God is going to bless you once you give that up, because he's going to be like, okay, this is a big vice. You know, it might be an underrated vice. It might be a vice that, you know, a lot of people don't speak on. That's exactly why I wanted to speak on it for today. Beating your meat makes you more insecure. You know, it takes away from your confidence and who you are. And it doesn't even have to be in a sense of talking to women. It could just be it's in your aura. Like, you can't fight it. You can't hide it. It's certain things that people see in you that you can't see in yourself. Certain social cues, being able to hold a conversation, like I said, being able to stare a woman in her eyes and not come off as a creep, being able to say the right things, being able, not looking, you know, when you are so much in the flesh, that's what you focus on, is the flesh. But when you are tapped into the spirit and the soul and the connection, women can sense that, and they crave that. Women are out here looking for men. And when you're a man, you got to think like, you know, back from the hunters and gathering days, they didn't have access to a phone to watch porn. Now you sleeping, and now you know, doing certain things that, when we go back to the warrior days, that's how you got to always envision society. We can't go off of this new era when we have technology, we have these new foods. We have to exit all this out. Even though it's so easy access, and, you know, it's, the food tastes good and you're getting endorphins. So, but society was never like this. And it was never meant to be, from the roles, the genders, the mindsets, how we run the gut. Like, everything needs to be questioned, and everything that you do has to go back. You got to get back to the gym. That's the reason why I stress on personal development, because it's so important. The root of who you are is going to shine like a diamond. And you can't shine like a diamond if you're not doing the right things every single day. And I sit here, I'm not perfect. I'm working on myself every single day. There's certain things that, you know, I'm fighting like hell to get out of. But you got to have that mindset to be awake and to want to fight. You just can't ignore the situation and conform. You got to stand up for something as a man. You got to believe in what you believe, and whatever you believe in, you got to stick on that. And you can't let anybody change, you know, how you feel about something because they think that, no. Now, they can change your opinion on certain things, but they shouldn't be able to move who you are. Stay 10 toes down, y'all. I love y'all. It's positivity, good vibes. But stop watching porn. Or corn. I'm sorry. Stop watching corn. Stop choking your chicken. Allow for, you know, your sexually transmitted energies. Allow that to raise in you. You know, it's all about the chakras. When you stop choking your chicken, your seed is going to build up within you, and you're gonna, and you know, that's what we need. That is how a man becomes a man, is through the seed. You know, we think, oh, I'm gonna just, you know, bust in this sock and it's just, oh, whatever. That is a superpower. Like, your seed is the strongest thing. Your seed is liquid gold. That's how you got to look at it as. And you can't play with, you know, you don't play about your money. You more focused on a dollar bill that, you know, that's really fake. You need to treat your seed like it's liquid gold. Like, like it's venom. It's special. You do not want this to leave about you. So do your research, get on semen retention, tap in with the source, and cut all that shit out. Cut it out. And I'm speaking through experience. I used to do it every single day. And now, now with me keeping that energy within, I get better sleep. I have more energy. I'm more ambitious. When your masculinity goes up, when your masculine energy rises, you're gonna be more productive. You're gonna be, it's gonna go from you focus on pleasures and pleasing yourselves and focused on, the worldly shit that doesn't matter, and you're gonna be awake and you're gonna be tapped into the source, and the source is gonna, tell you certain things. It's gonna show you certain things. So wake up and get to it. I love you guys. It's positivity, good vibes. Quit beating your meat. If you anything like me, give it up today. Cause I guarantee, bro, I have more women that are coming out the woodwork. When I was beating my meat, I was looking for love and looking for affection and looking for, when I really took myself serious and I stopped beating my meat and I start giving up all my vices and I start, chasing my purpose, stop chasing pleasure, I start making more money. I start being more happy, being more confident. And I'm just letting you guys know it's better on this side. I'm nowhere where I want to be, but we stacking these days, and this is a big factor that helped me, and I hope that it helps you. So quit doing it. I don't want you to think that you are anything. Like, when I say quit doing it, I'm not saying it from a sense of me judging you, because I've been there. But take my advice. Stop doing it. I love you guys. It's positivity, good vibes. I'm out. I gotta go get my daughter. But that's a big gem for today. And I hope you guys take it. So peace. We out.